Hi, I'm Richard Epcar, and I'm the voice of Bato, Ghost and Shell. I'm Answer in Kingdom Hearts, I'm the Joker, and 3 Batman games. More to come, I hope. I've been in a lot of games. Skyrim, Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. I'm rated Mortal Kombat. Who's the leader of Mortal Kombat, if you know anything about Mortal Kombat, and I mentioned Skyrim and Final Fantasy and the Jason Final Fantasy, the new one just came out. I'm in 14 to 15. I'm in Saints Row, I play Service Temple, and a gazillion other characters that you probably know, unless such as a cheese station on Legend, of course, Nickelodeon. So, these are just a few of the characters that I do. I do close to 400 different characters in animation games and anime, and I'm a well-known voice actor, so that's why I come to places like this London Comic Con. They ask me to travel around the world, and who am I to say no to them? So I go everywhere and I have a lot of fun. I get to meet my fans because you know we're in dark boots all day, so it's kind of nice to come out and meet this people that really appreciate the work we do and stuff like that. So you have a good time doing that. Also, an on-camera actor is what I do, and a lot of different things, stage actors. So I still do all that. I'm prominent for my voice work. Richard, how did you get into voice work? Well, that's an interesting story. I'm glad you asked that question. I went to Los Angeles and a camera actor, and my wife over there, Ellen Stern, and she was actually working on a small movie, and they needed someone to replace the voice of someone in another movie they were doing, and they didn't like the voice. So I went in there, and the guy said, "Have you done this before?" "Oh, I've done it a million times. I never did it before in my life." And I went in and they got the lead in this movie. So after that, they loved me. They had to come back and do a bunch of other stuff. I'm a drummer also. There's a rhythm to this stuff, especially dubbing. So I think I do it as a conductor weather because of that. And as I started doing tons of work for them. And from that, I went to Robotech, which is a big anime in the 80s. From that, I just did all kinds of stuff. Did you Mon X-Man? You know, Speed Racer, a lot of stuff like that. Richard Epcar, how can you approach the character? Or do I? How do you remember the voices? Well, you know it's easy now. You're in technology, so when you do a series, you're on a set of games. Like I do a lot of these different characters on games. You don't go away for a while. You come back months later and you go, well, how is this going to remember? It's like what you call a sample and the engineer plays, you know the sample of what you did before, and as soon as you hear it, you know exactly what voices you recreated. As far as knowing what kind of voice to do, a lot of this stuff is very secretive. So when you go in this, not like a normal job, but as an actor, and you give it a script and you study it, and you do it. You got to go in and you cold read it, and it has to be a performance. Essentially, when you cold read a good performance, and you know it takes time, and spirits to do something like that, make that work. And I've been doing this work almost 30 years now, which is hard to believe. I'm only 35, but it's just worked out, and I've just really taken to it. I really enjoy it. It's wonderful, and I get to do a lot of different characters. And the cool thing about being a voice actor is you can be as many characters as you can imagine vocally. So, as an on-camera actor, or on stage, or you're basically relegated to the way you appear. Well, as a voice actor, you can be any character that you can create vocally. So, in a way, you're almost more creative and more than actor in certain ways because look at most of the people on television, they're basically playing themselves in every single part. They do, and a lot of movie actors are like that too, but this stuff, you can be all kinds of different crazy characters. What's your favorite character? I'd say the Joker. Yeah. Fate says, did somebody call me that and I killed him? You should have known that I'm the only Joker out here. This comes out of me. It's some people go through the whole process and they analyze this. I just go to basically I can see a picture of the character. I come up with a voice for them, and it's like I say, it's an experience doing a long time, and the hard voices are like the ones in Call of Duty and Spec Ops, and I'm scared of cats just yelling at your feet. I'm basically just. I'm done.